Hi, I'm Tonya Caruso. Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. It's the local place that attracts tourists from around the world. We are talking about the Palace of Gold, and joining us in our studios this half hour is Damodara. We thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the Palace of Gold, beginning with where you're located.
We're located, the address is actually Moundsville. We're south of Moundsville on Route 250, about 8 miles before you start seeing signs directing you to the Palace of Gold.
And this is really a building with quite a history, and let's talk a little bit about that.
The palace opened to the public in 1979 after 6 years of construction. It was built as a memorial for A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, who was the founder of the Krishna movement. He started centers and temples and communities all over the world between 1965 and 1977 when he passed away. The palace was originally built to be a home for him where he could remain and translate his books and so on. He never got a chance to live there. He passed away too soon, but it was turned into a memorial and opened to the public Labor Day weekend of 1979, and it's been open every day since then.
And how many people and who comes to see the palace?
We get about 20 to 25,000 people a year, and it's not always the same people, but we do have a lot of regulars, and we attract a variety of nationalities too. And it's kind of a nice international mix of people. A lot of people from India come, but a lot of Americans are coming too. All kinds of folks come, and they come from as far as New York, New Jersey, Toronto, all the major metropolitan areas. You know, people come, take a day's drive, and spend a weekend out there.
And along with the palace, you're also known for the Rose Garden. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, that's also been open just as long as the palace has. Primarily, one lady's been in charge of that garden since 1979, and she's getting very close to retirement age now. So other people will be taking over, but the Rose Garden will remain. And it's won a lot of national awards. It's one of 130 accredited rose gardens in the United States. It has over 70 varieties of roses. And it's a sight to see. And even for people who have seen the palace many times, they still come out just to check out the gardens and bring their friends and such.
Yeah, and when it comes to the palace, what to you are some of the most impressive parts? What do you think would surprise folks if they went to see the palace?
Well, I think when it opened to the public, it got a lot of press, and it was on a lot of TV shows and so on, and it was generally referred to as a labor of love, because people were surprised that people who were basically working for room and board were willing to dedicate so much time and effort to build something as a memorial for a person whom they respected and admired. So a lot of people sensed that it was an extraordinary effort in that regard. But a lot of thought went into getting the nicest materials. There's marble, there's onyx, there's gold leaf, there's you know, a lot of the chandeliers and were handmade in the community, artwork, and so on. The molds were all cast in the community. A lot of it was done by people who had never had any prior experience with that kind of work. So that surprises people, that it came out as well as it did.
Yeah.
But it's very ornate on the interior, and you don't see buildings like this very often, especially in rural locations like, you know, Moundsville, West Virginia. So people are surprised that something like this ever happened, you know?
Yeah, well, it's an amazing, lots of people talk about it. So the Rose Garden, June through August is best, you say, to take a visit. We thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today. We certainly do appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm Tonya Caruso. Thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers. We'll send you back now to HLA.